David Carter wasn't just any waiter at the Grove restaurant. He had a special gift. He genuinely cared about how people felt. He listened, made them feel valued, and treated everyone with the same respect, whether they wore an expensive suit or an old pair of jeans. This attitude made him one of the restaurant's most beloved employees. That afternoon, the restaurant was unusually quiet. Smooth jazz played softly in the background as the staff tidied up tables and polished glasses. But when the doorbell chimed, the silence was broken. David looked up and noticed a young man walking in, accompanied by two serious-looking men. This customer was different. David instantly recognized Barron Trump, but he treated him just like any other guest. He approached with a warm smile. "Welcome to the Grove. Table for one?" Barron nodded and chose a booth by the window. David guided him over and handed him a menu. "Make yourself comfortable." Barron quickly skimmed the menu and placed a simple order: a cheeseburger and a soda. David nodded without any reaction. "I'll get that right out for you." As he walked toward the kitchen, his manager, Mr. Mitchell, shot him a sharp look. "Do you know who that is?" he asked in a hushed tone. David shrugged. "A customer?" "That's Trump's son," Mitchell whispered. "You do know who his father is, don't you?" David replied calmly. "I do." "Then be careful," Mitchell said sternly. "No unnecessary chatter, no over-friendliness. Don't risk our business." Suppressing his unease, David continued his shift. When he delivered Barron's meal, the young man quietly thanked him. David went back to work but kept an eye on the booth. Just as Barron was about to leave, David noticed something. His wallet was still on the seat. Without hesitation, he called out, "Excuse me, you forgot your wallet." Barron paused, then turned back with a surprised expression. David held it out to him. "Thank you," Barron said. David gave a small nod, but as he returned to his station, he noticed Mitchell glaring at him. That evening, as the restaurant slowed down, Mitchell called David into his office. His voice was ice cold. "You're fired." David's brows furrowed. "What? Why?" Mitchell's tone was flat. "You broke protocol. You put our company's reputation at risk." David felt a wave of injustice wash over him. As he walked out of the restaurant that night, frustration and disappointment filled his chest. The next morning, David sat on his couch, scrolling through job listings. But nothing felt right. After years at the Grove, being jobless like this made no sense. Just as he was about to shut his laptop, his phone buzzed. An unknown number flashed on the screen. "Hello?" he answered, expecting a telemarketer or a wrong number. A deep voice responded. "Is this David Carter?" "Yes, who's this?" "This is Donald Trump." For a moment, David thought it was a joke. He hesitated before replying. Mr. Trump?" "Yes," Trump said. "My son Barron told me what happened at the restaurant yesterday." David stayed silent, trying to process the situation. "He told me you helped him when he forgot his wallet," Trump continued. "I wanted to thank you for that." David smiled slightly. "It was nothing, sir. Anyone would have done the same." "Would they?" Trump said. "Apparently not. I heard your manager fired you over it, and that's unacceptable." David was stunned into silence. Trump continued. "You seem like an honest and trustworthy man, David, so I have an offer for you. I'm setting up a position for you at one of my properties. Tell me what you'd like to do and we'll take care of the rest." David hesitated for a few seconds. He had no idea what to say. "What do you think?" Trump asked. "My assistant will reach out with the details." Before David could even respond, the call ended. He stared at his screen in disbelief. Was his life really about to change just like that? Trump International Hotel was a completely different world. Its luxurious design, grand lobby, and flawless service were nothing like the Grove. As he stepped through the massive revolving doors, he adjusted his tie. The receptionist greeted him with a warm smile. "Mr. Carter, welcome. Mr. Trump has arranged a meeting with the management team for you." Inside a sleek, glass-walled conference room, David found himself speaking with top executives. They asked about his background, skills, and what position he saw himself in. By the end of the meeting, they offered him a role as a guest relations manager. The salary was beyond anything he had ever imagined. Weeks passed, and David quickly adapted to his new job. His colleagues respected him, and guests appreciated his dedication. For the first time in a long while, he truly felt valued. Then, one day, he received an unexpected invitation: dinner with the Trump family. Sitting in a private dining room surrounded by wealth and power, David felt both excited and grateful. Barron gave him a genuine smile. "You didn't have to help me that day," the young man said. "But you did. My dad says people like you are rare." Trump raised his glass and added, "To David Carter, a man who reminded us that kindness never goes unrewarded." As applause filled the room, David smiled, knowing that one small act of honesty had completely changed his life.